Hello and welcome to another CrowdProperty.com funding opportunity. Today we're going to London and the property is at 92 to 94 Windmill Road, Brentford, TW8 9NA. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. Now, the borrower on this project is Be Inspired Homes Limited, the company number 1189365, which was incorporated in March 2019. There's one director, and that is Bijal Parbat. Now, the husband of Bijal is Deepak Parbat. He's going to be the senior project manager on this one, and he's joining us here on this webinar. Welcome along. Tell us a little bit more about yours and Bijal's background.
I myself started off as a kitchen fitter initially, many years ago. Obviously, realizing that there's a trade involved with the kitchen fitting, I decided to qualify as an electrician. From there, we set up our own business, contracting out for new build homes, housings, that sort of thing. And then I also freelanced out myself as a project manager for many other sites and projects. So I've done a few other sites projects to this size, smaller, larger. And this is now just a sort of natural progression going on to building one for myself. Bijal is my wife. Her background is within the travel industry and obviously a very admin background. So her role within this project will be the admin side, liaising with council, with the planning authorities, wages, so forth, managing supplies and that sort of thing.
So let's look then at this project. It's a development loan facility of £3.1 million. That's towards the development of a mixed-use property with 9 residential flats over 2 commercial units. This is phase 1 of a planned 5-phase raise, and the loan is for a term of 18 months, paying lenders 8% per annum. Interest is retained on the first raise, and lenders will receive that interest paid monthly. Let's start off then with finding out a little bit more about the local area. Tell us then, Dee, a little bit more about the Windmill Road.
The project is located in West London, very close to central London, forming part of the London Borough of Hounslow. It's on the corner of the Great West Road. We've got the M4 just passing over the top of it. The A4 runs parallel to this site. The area itself locally is very residential. There's schools nearby. The transport links are very good. And also the Heathrow Airport is very close by as well. So it's a good location for the site.
Now, planning permission has been granted by Inspector on Appeal. The references are APP/F5540/W/17/3186406. That's in relation to London Borough of Hounslow application. And the planning reference 01217/92-94/P3, granted on appeal in June 2018, where permission has been granted for the building of one building comprising Part 3 and Part 4-storey building, including office and showroom floor space, along with 9 residential units. They are going to be split up between 4 1-beds, 4 2-beds, and 1 4-bed. There's also going to be 9 parking spaces. The loan will contribute towards the purchase of the property, with future raises funding the construction works. It will be first charge secure to protect the investors on this project, and the exit strategy is to sell the property on completion of the works. Here's the location plan. You can see where it is in relation to the centre of London. So it's on the west there. You see close to the A4 and the M4. On the right-hand side, you see where it is just by the side of the M4 motorway. Property on the corner of Windmill Road and the A4 Great West Road. That's in Brentford. Locality is predominantly residential with a number of car showrooms, and there's also some other commercial use locally. Local interests include Kew Gardens to the south over the river, and the full range of London's amenities are readily accessible on this particular site. Here are some existing photos of it. Talk us through, if you wouldn't mind, Dee, how you found this project.
I came across it through a local network of mine. It wasn't advertised very predominantly. It was just put through to me. So I made a few visits, took a few snaps, and I've been sort of going through it now for the best part of 6, 8 months. So spent a lot of time on working out, looking at what it is and how we can maximize the site itself. The pictures there you can see on the left hand side of the Harris fencing there, it drops off to a lower level. Basically, it's already got a sort of basement excavated already. Initially, before, it used to be a residential property and a car showroom, car garage type thing, and it was demolished back in 2013, if I'm correct.
Now, you've got some very ambitious plans as to what you want to do with the site. Talk us through the floor plans.
Okay, so the left-hand side, you've got the proposed basement level. That is basically the car park for the nine flats. To the right of that, you've got a small commercial office downstairs, or commercial meeting room, should I say, downstairs. And then behind that, you've got your bin stores and your cycle stores. Also to the left, we've got cycle stores as well, mainly for the commercial office use. And then on the right, you see the ground floor, which is actually showing one office space as a whole. We've actually cut that into two now, so it's two separate offices. So the commercial meter room in the basement will actually belong to the office on the right-hand side, and then on the left, as you see in the shaded in the blue, is actually the entrance for the residential core. And then on the first floor, you've got three flats. They're all one-bedroom flats on the first floor, and the second floor is pretty much a mirror of the first floor. So you've got three flats on the first floor, three flats on the second floor. On the first floor, there you see a commercial winter roof garden that's accessible for the residents of the block, as well as the commercial office users. And it's just a nice sort of seating area on a nice sunny day. The third and fourth floors is two flats on the third floor, and on the fourth floor is the four-bedroom penthouse. All the flats are with their own balconies, and on the fifth floor you see is another residential only amenity space. So that's another sort of seating area on a nice day if you want to take in the sights and the sounds of London. On the right hand side, you see the sections of the building itself. So you can see the basement underneath, the ramp going down. The level above is obviously the office area. And then you've got the four floors going up. And on the top there is it's basically a shaft for the lift. So it finishes up on that area. It goes up about 16 meters from the ground in total.
So that's the floor plans. Let's then look at the elevations. We've got the east and the north, first of all.
So on the east side, you see the elevation. You see a sign attached to the sort of curvature of the building. That is an advertising signage. On the north elevation, you see, as you were looking at it from the houses along the Windmill Road, so you can sort of get an idea of how high it goes above the houses there, the existing houses that are there already. And then the following elevation is the west elevation is showing the hoarding again, the advertising hoarding on the other side. And then the south elevation is looking at the building directly from the A4, and you can see the two hoardings on the side for the advertising. In the middle there, you've got a nice atrium area. So it's that's all sort of communal sort of seating area. So there's quite a lot of amenity space for the potential residents living within the property.
Tell us a little bit more about the materials that you're going to be building it with.
The build is a traditional concrete RC frame. We are going with brickwork cladding, two different finishes actually on the brickwork. One is a light sort of a marble type brick, semi-glazed brick, which is actually going on the curvature of the building, where you see the two advertising hoardings. And the residential area is a darker brick, so it splits up the residential and the commercial side, although they are incorporated into one building. Double glazing, aluminium double glazing throughout. The winter gardens, we've actually got winter gardens within the balconies as well. So you've got a balcony that lets you out onto the winter garden, and if you want to open out to the sounds, you can, or if you want to stay enclosed, you can stay enclosed. It's a space outside, inside, if you know what I mean.
And who do you think is your target buyer of these properties?
The target buyers, they are going to be in the professional market. So I would say in the region of sort of the age of 30 to 45, maybe 50. Sort of traveling in and out of town, young professional couples really, with the split that we've got. So we've got 4 one-bedroom flats, so that, those would be more than likely sort of professional couples.
Now, I've got a couple of case studies that I'd like to share with everyone. Talk us through what you did at Fairfield Drive.
Yeah, so it was quite a nice profit actually. The purchase price was because it was just the garage itself that we purchased, 50,000. So That was quite nice. And the cost side of it, we can keep the cost down because we do the building ourselves. Initially, we had a QS price it who said it will probably cost about 170 to 180 to build. So we managed to bring it in under budget at 140,000, and it's currently let out at present. But on current valuation, it's valued at 550,000.
And then your second case study is in Peel Road. This is one I understand you did for the local council.
That's correct, yes. The local council employed us to deliver this project for assisted living. That was for 9 residential flats as well.
So thanks for explaining everything to us then, Dee, on that particular project. Let's have a look then at the overview of the project financials and the proposed loan. This is the first phase of a 5-phase raise facility of £3.1 million in total. This first raise is for £910,000, with the interest retained and paid monthly to investors. Interest on the future raises will be rolled up and paid at exit. RICS have verified the current market value to be £1.4 million. They've also verified the gross development value to be £5.42 million. The initial gross day one drawdown is £910,000. Therefore, the initial loan to value 65%, loan to gross development value excluding the interest 57.2%, and including the interest is 61.5%. That's for a maximum loan period of 18 months. The loan is targeted to commence after the legal process has been completed. Remember, the exit strategy is to sell the properties on completion of the works, and lenders will receive 8% per annum interest. It will be secured with the first charge security against the project. So your next steps are please to make sure that you understand the loan, carry out your own due diligence, and also decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be to pledge on launch. The necessary anti-money laundering checks will be carried out, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your own online e-wallet, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So this is phase 1 of 5. We're looking to raise £910,000, please, for the development of 92 to 94 Windmill Road, Brentford, TW8 9NA. Thank you for watching this CrowdProperty.com webinar. We look forward to you joining us again soon back here for more funding opportunities at CrowdProperty.com.